Hi there, it's Beth from the West Allis Public Library, and welcome to another episode of our Who HQ book club for this summer. Tonight we are on episode 4 in what is Lego. Episode 4 puts us at chapter 7, Good Times, Tough Times. In 1973, Godfred Kirk Christiansen stepped down as managing director of the company. Someone else ran it until 1979. After that, Godfred's son, Kjeld Kirk Christiansen, replaced him. Lego was thriving. Godfred had opened plants in Germany, Great Britain, and the United States. New sets were being introduced all the time. In 1977, Lego brought out the Expert Builder set. Kids could make more complicated constructions such as tractors, forklifts, and even a helicopter. Then, in 1986, the Lego Technic sets replaced the Expert Builder sets. Technic was a big advance from Expert Builders. Technic sets were designed for older Lego users aged 7 to 14. There were racing cars, motorcycles, trucks, airplanes, helicopters, and different farm equipment such as tractors. They used batteries to power motors and compressed air pumps. The motors turned wheels that moved cars and trucks and gears that worked with pulleys to lift loads. Instead of studs on bricks, beams and pins were used for construction. Although tiny, the vehicles and equipment looked very realistic. The designers working on Technic followed 3 rules. The small vehicle or piece of equipment in each kit had to resemble quite closely a full-sized one. Each Technic kit made something that copied at least one function or action of the real equipment or vehicle. And every kit encouraged builders to learn new techniques and to devise their own version of what was being constructed. Kjeld continued to make the company grow bigger and bigger. But by the late 1980s, a whole new kind of entertainment was pulling young people away from Lego. Do you have any guess what that might be? What would pull kids away in the 1980s? What would pull kids away from Lego? Video games. They were loud and colorful, with characters whose actions the players controlled. They were exciting to play and set up for head-to-head competition between players. When a game was over, all a player had to do was push a button and start again. When Lego saw what was happening, it decided to launch its own video games. They failed. Most of Lego's video games just weren't as good as what kids were used to playing. The video game industry was very tough, aggressive, and fast-moving, and it needed talented young programmers who created the fantasy worlds kids wanted. Lego didn't have the right mindset to be a video game company. Healthy, quiet play was what the company had believed in. In 2003, Lego had its worst year in its history. For the first time, their sales were down, and the company lost money. Was there a future for Lego? What do you think? I think they did okay. Chapter 8, A New Leader. Kjeld knew that to survive, Lego needed to identify the company's problems and fix them quickly. Lego hired a young man named Jørgen Vig Knudstorp to study the company's business and come up with some ideas. Jørgen came up with a new plan that Kjeld liked very much. Not only did he like the plan, he felt sure that Jørgen was the man to make it work. So, Kjeld resigned as president in 2004. He put Jørgen, known as JVK to everyone at Lego, in his place. For the first time in its history, Lego was going to be led by someone who wasn't in the Christiansen family. It turned out to be a great decision. Jorgen decided that Lego needed to focus on the brick rather than expanding into new types of entertainment, such as video games or theme parks. The Legoland amusement parks were not profitable. So, Lego sold them to a company that had experience running amusement parks. Lego kept a small part of the ownership. They stopped making sets that didn't sell well, and Jorgen went back to the company's greatest strength, innovation, the ability to do things in a new way. Lego had already introduced an intelligent brick that could be programmed in the late 1990s. For instance, it could control certain movements of a Lego robot. But now, Lego made these intelligent invention sets, which are called Mindstorms, with more powerful programming and, at the same time, made them easier to use. Okay, in 2009, Lego released Mindstorms NXT 2.0, which even had touch sensors and light sensors. After that, Lego devised a program that gave builders complete control over their Lego robots using their smartphone or computer. The Lego intelligent bricks kept getting smarter and smarter. Another new Lego series, Bionicle, built a strong fan base and became immensely popular in the early 2000s. These action figures were aimed at boys 8 and older. The Bionicles had a very cool feature, ball and socket joints, that let the figures move in ways that weren't possible before. Also, for the first time, an original story appearing on Lego's website told of the warring Bionicles and their imaginary world. The Toa, usually good characters, fought against the evil Makuta. Originally, Bionicle was going to be sold just for a year. But the theme was such a hit that new sets came out for years. The Bionicle team began getting emails from kids with suggestions for improving the Bionicle storylines and characters. Lego used some of the kids' ideas and that made Bionicle grow even more popular. Lego also brought out new Bionicle characters much more quickly and added new storylines every 6 months. Animated CDs, then videos, kept fans up to date on the plot. In time, Lego also put Bionicle comic books, novels, and created a Netflix series. I didn't know that. But Bionicle aroused some anger. There were complaints from the Maori people, a native people who live in New Zealand. The names of some Bionicle characters came from words in the Maori language, and they found this disrespectful. So Lego agreed to change the names of certain characters. This switch was built into the Bionicle story. Characters received their name in a ceremony celebrating their bravery or honor. As for Bionicle, it became known as the toy that saved Lego from going out of business. So without Bionicle, there'd be no Ninjago or any other cool sets today. Okay, we'll stop there for today. Thank you for watching another episode, and I will see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock for the final episode in What is Lego?